Captain Leo Harris floated above the dense green canopy of the alien planet, scanning with his drone. The planet was full of life. Strange, glowing plants, massive birds with translucent wings, and rivers that shimmered under the twin suns. Humans had only recently established a small research outpost here. Most of the planet was uncharted, and Leo was part of the exploration team. He was alone today, hiking through a forest to check some old data markers. His boots sank slightly into the soft moss. The air smelled sweet but thick, making it hard to breathe. He had been here for hours and was beginning to feel tired. Then he heard it, a low growl from behind a cluster of tall, blue-leaved trees. Leo froze. He slowly turned. A massive, four-legged predator emerged. Its skin was dark green, almost like liquid metal, and its eyes glowed bright orange. It growled again and stepped closer. Leo's heart pounded. The predator had sharp claws, longer than his forearm. If it attacked, Leo knew he wouldn't survive. He reached for his energy blaster, but before he could aim, a bright light flashed. Beside him, a figure leapt from the trees, a girl, tall but slim, with hair like silver threads and skin that shimmered faintly in the sunlight. She moved with speed and grace that seemed impossible. In her hands, she held a strange device. A pulse of energy shot from it, hitting the predator. The beast roared and backed off, confused. "Go!" the girl shouted in a melodic voice. "Run now!" Leo didn't need to be told twice. He sprinted, barely keeping his balance on the uneven ground. The girl followed him, moving as if the forest itself obeyed her steps. In minutes, they reached a small clearing near a sparkling river. The girl crouched, breathing hard, but watching Leo carefully. "You saved me," Leo said, panting. "Who are you?" The girl smiled faintly, brushing hair from her face. "I am Elira. You should not be here alone, human." Leo frowned. "Human? You speak English?" Elira nodded. "I learned you do not belong in these woods. Many dangers live here." Leo looked around nervously. "Thanks for saving my life. I don't even know how to repay you." Elira's eyes softened. "Life is precious. Protecting. It is reward enough." For a moment, they just stared at each other. Leo felt something strange, a pull, like he had met her before in a dream. But that was impossible. She was alien, clearly, yet somehow familiar. Suddenly, a vibration in the ground made Leo stumble. He turned, and the predator had returned, now angrier than before. It had a mate. They circled, growling low, their eyes fixed on Leo and Elira. Elira's voice was calm but strong. "Stay behind me." She lifted her hands, and the device in her palm began to glow brighter. Pulses of energy shot at the predators, forcing them back. The creatures hesitated, growling, but they were clever. They would not leave so easily. Leo took a deep breath. "Do you need help?" Elira glanced at him, her eyes bright. "Only if you are brave. Step forward." Leo nodded. He grabbed a sturdy branch, ready to fight. Elira nodded back and unleashed a wave of energy that made the predators roar in pain. Leo swung the branch, trying to push them away. He was clumsy, but she smiled faintly. "You have courage, human." The battle was short, but fierce. Finally, the predators ran back into the forest, unwilling to risk another hit from Elira's device. Leo collapsed on the ground, breathing hard. Elira extended a hand. "Come. You cannot stay here. More dangers will come." He took her hand, and she pulled him to his feet. She led him to a narrow path through the trees. They walked in silence for a few minutes. Leo wanted to ask her many questions, but he did not want to seem rude. Finally, he asked, "Why did you save me?" "You could have let them finish me." Elira looked at him seriously. I do not harm life unnecessarily, and I sensed you were different. You are strong, but not cruel. That matters. Leo blinked. Different? How? She smiled faintly, shaking her head. I cannot explain. It is something my people feel. They came to a small riverbank where the water ran clear and calm. Elira knelt and touched the water with her hand. The river shimmered and glowed, as if responding to her. Leo watched, amazed. You do things with the world that I can't understand, he said. Elira's eyes softened. We are connected to this planet. It speaks to us, guides us. Leo looked at her, studying her face. There was something urgent in her expression, something unspoken. He opened his mouth to ask, but before he could, she shook her head. I cannot stay, she said suddenly. You should return to your outpost. The forest will not forgive hesitation. Wait, Leo said. Will I see you again? Elira hesitated. She looked away at the shimmering river, then back at him. Perhaps, but not yet. I must go. Before he could stop her, she turned and disappeared into the dense forest, moving like a ghost. Leo stood there, heart pounding, staring after her. He felt something had changed. Something important. He looked at the forest, the glowing river, and the place where she had vanished. Leo did not know it yet, but his life had already been changed forever. This encounter was only the beginning, and he did not know how much. Danger and wonder lay ahead, for now he could only breathe, stare, and wonder who or what Elira truly was. Captain Leo Harris returned to the human outpost with his mind still on Elira. Every corner of the lush forest seemed to echo her presence. He couldn't forget the silver-haired girl who had saved his life with her strange, glowing device. Something about her felt different, calm, yet powerful, like she belonged to the planet itself. The outpost commander, Lieutenant Mara Klein, was waiting for him. You're late, Leo. Everything okay out there? Leo shook his head. Yes, mostly. But I ran into something I didn't expect. A girl, alien, maybe native to the planet, saved me from predators. She disappeared before I could talk to her. Mara raised an eyebrow. An alien girl? Are you serious? I'm serious. Her name is Elira. She's unlike anything I've seen. She's fast, strong, and she can control things. Somehow. Mara frowned. You need to be careful, Leo. This planet is full of unknowns. We don't know what she is or what she wants. Leo nodded, but he couldn't shake the feeling that meeting her was not a coincidence. The next morning, while Leo was checking the drone logs, a sudden alarm sounded. Elira stood at the edge of the outpost, glowing faintly under the twin suns. She looked nervous but determined. Leo, she called softly, I need to speak with you. He hurried outside. You came back. Why? Elira's eyes were serious. Her hands shook slightly. I am expecting your child. Leo froze. His mind raced. What? Expecting? How is that possible? Elira's face turned red, not like embarrassment, but fear. It is a rare effect. It happens when our species and yours connect in certain ways. I did not mean for it to happen, but now it has. Leo's heart pounded. He could barely understand her words. The girl who had appeared like a ghost in the forest now stood before him, holding a secret that would change both their lives forever. My people. They will not allow me to raise this child alone, Elira continued. I must be with the Father. That is the law of our species. I need you, Leo. Please marry me. Leo stepped back, shock making his legs weak. I don't know what to say. I never expected this. We barely know each other. Elira's eyes filled with tears. I know it is sudden. I know it is difficult. But if I return to my people without you, I will be shunned, and so will the child. Please, help me. Protect us. Leo swallowed hard. He had never faced anything like this. His mind raced with thoughts: duty, responsibility, fear, and something else. An unexpected connection he felt with her. Her plea wasn't just about law or tradition. It was about trust and survival. He took a deep breath. If what you say is true, then I will help you. I don't know what the law is on your planet, but I will stand with you. Elira's face lit up. Relief and hope shone in her eyes. Thank you. Thank you, Leo. I cannot stay here long. I must return to my world and seek the Council's approval. Will you come with me? Leo hesitated. Going to her planet meant entering unknown territory. It could be dangerous, but he could not abandon her. Yes, I will go with you. We'll face it together. Elira smiled faintly, her glowing skin reflecting the sunlight. We must leave soon. Time is short. That evening, they prepared for the journey. Elira's knowledge of the forest helped them avoid predators and natural hazards as they moved toward the rendezvous point for her spacecraft. Leo could barely believe he was following an alien girl into her world, her planet, where rules and life itself would be alien to him. During the flight through space, Leo studied Elira. She was quiet, almost shy at times, but there was a strength in her he could not ignore. She was determined to protect her child, and that courage fascinated him. I want you to know something, Elira said suddenly, breaking the silence. The Council will test you. They will want to know if you are worthy of protecting our child. Leo frowned. Test me? How? She looked out the window, the stars reflecting in her eyes. My people. They value courage, wisdom, and respect for life. They will judge you on these traits. You must show them that you can adapt, that you can survive, and that you can care for what is precious. If you fail, they will reject you. Leo nodded. Then I will not fail. I will do whatever it takes to keep you and our child safe. Elira's lips curved into a small smile, one filled with trust. I believe you, Leo. That is why I came to you. I knew you would understand. As the spacecraft approached her planet, Leo's nerves grew. The floating cities glimmered below, and the bioluminescent forests stretched as far as the eye could see. The planet seemed alive, almost breathing. Leo felt awe, fear, and wonder all at once. Landing near the capital city, they were immediately greeted by guards. The architecture was unlike anything Leo had ever seen. Towers that curved like giant plants, bridges that seemed to float in mid-air, and glowing lights that changed colors with the wind. Elira stepped forward, her voice calm, but firm. We are here to seek the Council's approval. I bring the father of my child. The guards hesitated, eyeing Leo suspiciously. Humans were rare here, and few had ever set foot on this world. Yet Elira's presence commanded respect. Slowly, they led them through the city toward the council chambers. Leo followed, his heart pounding. He did not know what awaited him inside. He did not know if he would be accepted. But one thing was certain. His life had changed forever. He was now responsible for a life that was part human, part alien, and entirely unknown to the galaxy. As they approached the grand doors, Leo glanced at Elira. We face this together, he said quietly. She nodded. Together. And with that, they stepped inside, ready to face the council and whatever trials awaited them. Captain Leo Harris stepped through the massive doors of the council chamber, his heart pounding. The room was unlike anything he had ever seen. Towering pillars glowed faintly with flowing light, and the walls seemed alive, shifting colors like a living painting. At the far end, a circle of alien leaders sat on elevated platforms, their eyes fixed on the newcomers. Elira walked beside him, calm and confident. Her presence commanded respect, and Leo felt a strange sense of pride to be at her side. Yet he could not ignore the nervous flutter in his chest. These were her people, and they would decide his fate and the future of their child. A tall alien woman, adorned in robes that shimmered like liquid silver, rose. Her voice was melodic, but carried authority. Elira of the Lyran people, you bring a human before us. Speak your purpose. Elira stepped forward. Honored council, this human saved my life. He is the father of my child. I seek your blessing to be together and raise our child safely, the council members murmured, among themselves. Leo noticed that some of their features were sharp, almost angular, while others had soft, rounded faces. Their expressions were hard to read. The tall woman spoke again. A human? You claim he can protect our child and honor our ways? Leo stepped forward cautiously. I will do everything I can. I may not know your traditions yet, but I will respect them. I will protect Elira and our child. The council remained silent for a long moment. Then another voice, deep and resonant, echoed. Humans are known for courage, but also for impulsiveness. You must prove that your courage is wise and that you understand the value of life here. Leo nodded. I am ready to face your tests. The tall woman raised her hand, and a panel in the floor opened, revealing a glowing map of the planet. You will undergo 3 trials. The first tests adaptability. You must navigate the Forest of Whispers and retrieve a sacred crystal from the heart of the woods. Leo swallowed hard. The Forest of Whispers was legendary. Many natives feared it, as strange creatures and illusions were said to dwell there. The second trial, she continued, tests your courage. You must face the guardian of the river, a creature bound to the sacred waters, and return unharmed. Leo's heart raced. He had faced predators in the wild, but this sounded far more dangerous. Final trial, the woman said, tests your respect for life. You must heal a wounded creature using our methods, showing empathy and understanding. Elira squeezed his hand. I will guide you as much as I can, but the trials must be done by you. Leo nodded. Then I will not fail. The council's doors opened, and Elira led him into the Forest of Whispers. The moment they entered, the air felt different, thick, almost alive, and full of strange whispers. Shadows moved at the corner of Leo's vision, and glowing plants seemed to follow him with silent eyes. Stay calm, Elira whispered. The forest senses fear. Focus on your task. Leo took a deep breath and moved forward. He followed, Elira carefully, avoiding strange traps and unseen creatures. Hours passed, and the forest seemed endless. Finally, they reached a clearing, and in the center a crystal glowed with soft light. It hovered above a stone pedestal, untouched by time. Leo stepped forward, but a shadow darted at him. A creature with 6 legs and glowing eyes lunged, testing his reflexes. Leo dodged and grabbed the crystal. The creature backed off, and the crystal was now in his hands. Elira smiled. Well done. You passed the first trial. The second trial took them to a wide river, shimmering with bioluminescent light. A massive guardian emerged, a serpentine creature with glowing scales and eyes that seemed to pierce the soul. It roared, water splashing everywhere. Leo's instincts screamed to fight, but he remembered the council's words, courage with wisdom. He stayed calm, moved slowly, and showed no aggression. The guardian studied him, then nodded slightly and disappeared beneath the water. Leo exhaled. Elira's eyes sparkled with approval. The final trial was in a small sanctuary filled with wounded creatures, sick and weak. Elira handed him a small device and said, "Use this and focus on healing. Show them you care for life." Leo worked carefully, following Elira's instructions. He treated the creatures gently, learning how to restore their energy. Hours passed, and slowly the creatures recovered, their glowing eyes filled with life. Again. When the trials were complete, they returned to the council chamber. The aliens waited silently. Leo felt the weight of their gaze. The tall woman studied him closely. "You have passed the trials, human. You showed adaptability, courage, and respect for life. Few outsiders could accomplish what you did." A murmur of approval ran through the council. Another member stepped forward. "Yet, your journey has only begun. You will face more challenges as the child grows. But today, you have proven you are worthy of standing with Elira." Leo exhaled, relief washing over him. He looked at Elira, who smiled softly. "You did it," she whispered. He nodded. "We did it together." As they left the chamber, Leo felt a strange pride. He had entered an alien world, faced tests unlike anything on Earth, and survived. More importantly, he had gained the respect of a civilization far older and wiser than humanity. But deep in the shadows, Leo did not notice a pair of glowing eyes watching him. Not all of Elira's people were happy with the human's success. Some whispered of rebellion and danger yet to come. For now, Leo and Elira walked through the glowing city hand in hand, but the journey ahead was far from over. The trials had proven his worth, but the real challenge, protecting Elira and their unborn child, was only beginning, and somewhere in the silent corners of the city, danger was waiting. Captain Leo Harris and Elira walked through the glowing streets of her homeworld, their hands clasped tightly. The city was alive with movement, floating vehicles, shimmering lights, and beings of all shapes and sizes. Despite the beauty, Leo felt uneasy. He had passed the council's trials, but something in the air told him that not all of Elira's people had accepted him. Elira noticed his concern. "Leo, be careful. Some factions are not pleased with your success. They believe a human should never have influence here." Leo frowned. "Why would they care about me? I only want to protect you and our child." "Because your presence changes things," she said quietly. "A hybrid child could shift power in our society. Some fear it." That night, while the city slept under the soft glow of the moons, Leo sat with Elira in her quarters. The room was simple, yet elegant, filled with soft lights and delicate alien ornaments. "I don't understand," Leo said. "You saved me, trusted me. And now there are people who want to harm us?" Elira shook her head. "Not you alone. They fear change. They fear what our child represents, unity between species. They will try to stop us, to prevent the future we might bring." Leo clenched his fists. "Then we will face them, together." Early the next day, a warning came. Elira's friend and advisor, Kale, rushed into the room. "Counselor's orders, Elira. There is a group plotting against you. They plan to sabotage the union ceremony. You must prepare." Leo's eyes narrowed. "Sabotage? How?" Kale explained that a rival faction within the council wanted to prevent any human-alien union. They feared the hybrid child would threaten their control over the planet. Leo realized that diplomacy alone would not be enough. Strategy and quick thinking would be needed. Elira took a deep breath. "Leo, I need you to help me. We must uncover the plot before it begins. Can I trust you to act fast?" Leo nodded. "Absolutely. We'll stop them together. They began investigating quietly, speaking with trusted allies and observing council members' movements. Leo's human intuition helped them notice subtle signs, secret meetings, whispered conversations, and coded messages hidden in reports. He realized that the rival faction was larger than they first thought. One night, while following a lead through the city's lower levels, Leo and Elira stumbled upon a hidden chamber. Inside, they found a group of aliens plotting to block the ceremony. Holographic maps showed the routes the couple would take, and devices meant to disrupt the event. Leo's mind raced. We can't let this happen. We need a plan to stop them, without causing a fight that could harm the city. Elira nodded. We need a distraction, something clever, something they will not expect. Using his knowledge of human tactics, Leo devised a plan. He and Elira would lead the rival faction into a controlled trap using their own devices against them. It was risky, but it could work. The night of the planned sabotage, Leo and Elira took their positions. The rival faction tried to activate their devices, but Leo anticipated it. With a flash of his handheld tech, he intercepted the signals, sending the devices into harmless overload. The saboteurs roared in frustration, realizing their plan had failed. At that moment, Elira used her energy device to create a bright, non-lethal barrier, separating them from the traps. The rival faction had no choice but to retreat, and the city's peace remained intact. Leo looked at Elira, impressed by her courage. That was close. Elira smiled faintly. Too close, but we succeeded. They will think twice before trying again. The following morning, the council acknowledged their victory. While some still harbored doubts about Leo, most recognized his ingenuity, bravery, and respect for life. Even some of the rival faction began to show signs of acceptance, realizing that opposing the Union could bring more harm than good. Leo felt a quiet pride. He had entered an alien world as a stranger, faced unknown dangers, and now protected the one he cared about most. Yet, he knew this was just the beginning. The rival faction would not give up entirely, and the child they carried would always be a symbol of change, a target for those afraid of it. That evening, Leo and Elira walked along the glowing river that ran through the city. The water reflected the colors of the sky, and alien birds glided above. Elira rested her hand on her stomach, where the child's first movements had begun to show. "Leo," she whispered, "we have faced danger already. I know there will be more. But I feel safe with you." Leo squeezed her hand. "I will protect you both, no matter what comes. We are stronger together." Elira looked at him, her eyes shining. "I believe that, and I believe in our child. Our child will change the future for both our peoples." Leo nodded, staring at the glowing water. He thought of Earth, of humanity, and of how adaptable and resourceful humans could be. Against all odds, humans had survived, thrived, and now stood respected in a world far from home. As they turned to leave the river, Leo noticed movement in the shadows. He froze. Two figures watched them from a distance, hidden among the glowing trees. They were part of the faction, not yet defeated, waiting for the right moment to strike. Leo whispered to Elira, "We are not safe yet. The threat isn't gone." Elira nodded, her expression calm but determined. "Then we prepare. We will face whatever comes together." The night deepened, and the city glowed under the twin moons. Leo and Elira knew that danger could appear at any moment, but they also knew they could face it, side by side. The trials of the council had tested Leo, but the real battle for trust, safety, and the future of their child was only beginning. And, somewhere in the shadows, the rival faction plotted, unaware that their plans were already known. Humanity and courage had proven themselves once again. The sun had barely risen over Alira's glowing city when Captain Leo Harris awoke. Today was not an ordinary day. The rival faction had regrouped overnight, and Leo knew they would attempt another strike. This time, they would act openly. Alira stood beside him, her silver hair catching the light. "Leo, we cannot let them harm anyone, especially not the child. Are you ready?" Leo nodded, gripping his energy device tightly. "I've never been more ready." The two of them walked through the city streets, alert for any sign of danger. Citizens paused, watching the human and the alien together. Some whispered, some stared in awe, and others frowned with doubt. Yet most were curious. Leo could feel the respect growing. Humans were still rare here, and his actions in the trials and against the sabotage had begun to change minds. Suddenly, alarms blared. The rival faction had attacked, appearing from hidden passages and using advanced devices to block streets and entrances. Their goal was clear: stop the Union ceremony and intimidate the council. Leo glanced at Alira. "Stay close. Follow my lead." The first wave of attackers lunged, but Leo moved quickly. He activated his energy device, creating a protective barrier around them. The attackers were strong and fast, but Leo's strategy, combined with Alira's energy control, allowed them to hold the line. Alira's voice rang out, commanding and steady. "Do not harm them unnecessarily. Show them the strength of unity, not destruction." Leo realized she was right. Violence alone would not prove his worth. It was courage, intelligence, and humanity that mattered. He used clever tactics to redirect the attackers, guiding them into harmless traps and preventing them from reaching civilians. Hours passed. The rival faction adapted, but Leo's quick thinking stayed one step ahead. He combined human technology with Alira's energy devices, creating barriers, distractions, and illusions that confused their enemies. Slowly, the faction began to retreat, realizing they could not win against a team united by trust and purpose. Finally, the leader of the faction appeared, towering and fierce, trying to intimidate them. Leo stepped forward. "It ends now. If you truly value your people, you will stop this fight. Our goal is not to conquer. It is to protect." The leader hesitated, taken aback by the human's calm authority. Alira joined him, her eyes glowing. "You see the truth now. The child represents a future of cooperation, not conflict. We can face challenges together, not alone." The leader's eyes narrowed, then softened. Slowly, he lowered his hands and signaled his followers to stand down. The remaining attackers hesitated, then complied. The threat had been neutralized, not with destruction, but with courage, strategy, and moral strength. The city was silent for a moment. Then the citizens emerged, clapping and cheering. Humans and aliens alike recognized the victory. Leo felt a surge of pride, not just for himself, but for what humanity had shown: ingenuity, bravery, and respect for life. Alira smiled, her eyes shining. "You did it, Leo. You protected us all, and you proved your worth. Today, humanity stands honored among my people." Leo looked around, taking in the glowing city, the alien citizens, and Alira by his side. "We did it together. This child, our child, will grow knowing that humans and aliens can face anything united." The council convened once more. The same tall woman who had set the trials spoke. "Captain Leo Harris, you have shown courage, wisdom, and respect for life. You have defended our people without unnecessary violence. You have earned the trust of the Lyran people." The room erupted in murmurs of approval. Even former skeptics nodded, some smiling with newfound respect. The rival faction members had been humbled, their fear of change replaced with cautious acceptance. Another council member stepped forward. "The Union may proceed. The child shall be recognized as a symbol of hope, a bridge between our species and yours. Let this day mark the beginning of a new era." Leo exhaled, relief and joy flooding him. He looked at Elira, whose hand rested gently on her stomach. "We did it," he whispered. She nodded, eyes glistening with tears. "Yes, together." That evening, the city held a small celebration. Humans, aliens, and hybrids mingled. Music filled the air, glowing lanterns floated above, and laughter echoed through the streets. Leo walked beside Elira, feeling a sense of belonging he had never known. He was no longer just a visitor or stranger. He was part of this world now, part of a family that crossed the stars. Elira's father approached them, his expression stern but kind. "Leo Harris, I admit I doubted you at first, but today you have proven that humans are not only strong but honorable. You have my respect and my blessing." Leo bowed respectfully. "Thank you, sir. I will do everything to protect Elira and our child." Her father smiled faintly. "I see that already. You have the spirit of a warrior and the heart of a protector. That is all a parent could hope for." As the celebrations continued, Leo and Elira found a quiet spot near the river. The water shimmered under the moons, reflecting the glowing city. Elira rested her head on Leo's shoulder. "Our journey is far from over," she said softly. "But today we showed them what humans and aliens can achieve together." Leo nodded. "And we'll keep showing them every day, for you and for our child." Somewhere in the distance, the remaining faction members watched silently, planning. Perhaps, but for now, peace had been restored. Humanity had proven its value once again, not with weapons alone, but with courage, intelligence, and moral strength. Leo looked at the glowing river, at Elira, and at the city that now accepted him. A sense of hope filled his heart. The future was uncertain, yes, but it was theirs to shape. Together they would face whatever challenges came, and humanity's spirit would shine brightly among the stars. And for the first time, Leo felt truly at home. On a world far from Earth, with an alien by his side, carrying a child that would unite two species in ways no one could have imagined. The morning sun glimmered over the floating towers of Elira's city, painting the world in soft shades of gold and silver. The day had finally come, the union ceremony of Captain Leo Harris and Elira. Citizens lined the streets,